Hello friends, how are you guys today? My name is Shanda and I hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. If you're not having an amazing day, I really hope that your day gets better from here on out. I want to start this video like every other video and say thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy it, I hope you at least give it a chance. But if you guys are returning to my channel, thank you guys so much for returning to my channel. It really does mean a lot to me and I appreciate it so much. So today I want to talk about all of these articles that just came out a couple hours ago about Jamie stepping down as the conservator of Britney's estate. So I saw this article and the headlines, and of course I was like, oh, I gotta go look. So I read all the articles and then I went and did some research, and it is, spoiler alert, it's not true. So I wanted to talk about that, and I also wanted to talk about the allegations that came out today about Lynne Spears drugging Britney. So I want to talk about those as well. So why don't you guys sit back, relax, and we will talk about it. Okay guys, so the first thing I want to talk about are all these articles that came out today. Every single one of these articles, the headline says, Britney Spears' father, Jamie, agrees to step down from conservatorship. And there's another one from TMZ. Jamie Spears agrees to step down as conservator. There's so many of these out there, and that gives the impression that he is gone, right? Wouldn't that be what you think? That's not what's going on. So let me first read this article, well, the gist of it, and then we will move on to a Twitter thread from one of my favorite Twitter accounts, Britney The Stan, and their research is just amazing. I want to give them a shout out. I love their research. They do so much great work and they work so hard on it. So we will go through their Twitter thread in a minute, but let's go and look at this article. Now it's just on my phone, so I'm just going to read most of it to you guys. But it says that he agrees to step down as a conservator. And it says, Jamie has agreed to step down from his daughter's conservatorship. The turn of events is a massive win for the international pop star who's been under the conservatorship for 13 years, blah, blah, blah. But in 13 years, Britney has been fit enough to perform, tour, hold Las Vegas residencies, and earn hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, I love that how they say that she has earned hundreds of millions of dollars. I love how they say that because it's funny that her cash net worth, like her cash assets, are at $2 million, around $2 million, and her non-cash assets, like her house and everything, is $57 million. So she has earned hundreds of millions of dollars, even according to this article, and she only has $2 million in her net worth of cash assets. That's a little odd, but it's weird that they even this article mentions that. But let's keep going. So she has been speaking out this summer, saying that she wants her father removed, she wants to press charges for conservatorship abuse, and she wants him in jail. Her father's decision to step down is being praised as a major victory by the singer's new attorney, Matthew Rosengart, who says he intends to investigate Jamie's conduct over the past 13 years and plans to depose him under oath. On Thursday, Britney's father filed in Los Angeles Superior Court his response to the singer's petition for his suspension, announcing his decision to step down. He said he would cooperate with the court on a transition, but did not give a timetable for his resignation. His filings also stated that he needed to, quote, wrap up certain matters before he could hand over the reins. This is a funny quote to me, because to me when he says that, it says he needs to hide a lot of crap and shred a bunch of shit. That's what it says to me before he can hand over the reins. Why? What else? What would he have to wrap up before he can hand over the reins to somebody who's actually qualified? Like, what would that be? Because he is not qualified in anything unless he's just trying to stay as long as he can to get as much money as he can and to, like I said, shred some shit. That's my opinion. It's alleged. Don't come for me. But it also says, when these matters are resolved, Mr. Spears will be in a position to step aside. the court document said. But there are no urgent circumstances justifying Mr. Spears' immediate suspension. When these matters are resolved, like what matters are these? I'd really like to know. Spears' attorney cites the public battle with his daughter as his reasoning for stepping down, but states that there are, quote, no actual grounds for his suspension or for removing him, end quote, which is ridiculous. I mean, there might not be anything like in court right now, but I was very hopeful. I'm still very hopeful that in that September 29th hearing, he will be completely just blasted and everybody will see exactly why he needs to be removed right this second. I mean, everybody pretty much knows. Anybody who's been following this case for a while knows exactly why he needs to be suspended right now, but it's not in the court documents. So I was hoping it would be in the court documents, or I just thought of this, or maybe he's just agreeing to step aside, but not right now, before that hearing, because he doesn't want them to completely blast him and show everything that he's done wrong. Maybe. But he's still actually not stepping aside, is the thing. There are no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as conservator of the estate, and it is highly debatable whether a change in conservator at this time would be in Britney's best interests. That's what the document said. Nevertheless, even as Mr. Spears is the unremitting target of unjustified attacks, he does not believe that a public battle with his daughter over his continuing service as her conservator would be in her best interests. Now he believes that? Like, okay. So even though he must contest this unjustified petition for his removal, Mr. Spears intends to work with the court and his daughter's new attorney to prepare for an orderly transition to a new conservator. As the court has likely surmised before Miss Spears' new attorney arrived, Mr. Spears had already been working on such a transition with Miss Spears' former court-appointed counsel, Samuel Ingham. Why? Really? Because there's absolutely no proof whatsoever that he was ever working with Samuel Ingham to transition a new conservator, ever. And Samuel Ingham has never mentioned that. No one has ever mentioned that in any of the court documents, so that's news to me. This is a major victory for Britney Spears and another step towards justice, Mr. Rosengart said in a statement. I announced in court on July 14th that after 13 years of the status quo, it was time for Mr. Spears to be suspended or removed as a conservator, and that my firm and I would move aggressively and expeditiously for the outcome. That was his quote, like, after the July 14th hearing. Britney's legal team states that while Spears stepping down is a major win for their client, they are still unhappy by her father's attack. We are pleased that Mr. Spears and his lawyer have today consented in a filing that he must be removed. We are disappointed, however, by their ongoing shameful and reprehensible attacks on Miss Spears and others, Rosengart says. We look forward to continuing our vigorous investigation into the conduct of Mr. Spears and others over the past 13 years while he reaped millions of dollars from his daughter's estate, and I look forward to taking Mr. Spears' sworn deposition in the near future, Matthew Rosengart adds. Which, that is awesome. I love that. They are still going to investigate his conduct and the conduct of everybody else for the past 13 years, even if he steps down or not. And he is looking forward to taking Mr. Spears' sworn deposition in the near future, which I'm looking forward to that too. I am certain he will probably lie, but I love that he will be under oath, so if he's caught lying, he can get in trouble. His statement concludes, in the interim, rather than making false accusations and taking cheap shots at his own daughter, Mr. Spears should remain silent and step aside immediately. I agree. It says down here at the end of the article that Britney has said that she wants to be let out of this conservatorship altogether without any evaluation. Legal Legal experts have said that that would be highly unlikely because it is part of the process to terminate a conservatorship is to have the evaluation. In any case, it includes proper medical evaluation. Now, I think that is hilarious because Britney never had any kind of medical evaluation to put her in this thing. Never. There's never been any kind of medical evaluation whatsoever to put Britney in this conservatorship, so there shouldn't be any kind of medical evaluation to let her out of it. That's what I think, and I'm sure that's what everybody else thinks as well. But it says without Britney's father involved in her conservatorship case, the goal would be for the singer's conservators to work together with the eventual goal of safely getting her out of the court-ordered arrangement. As an attorney for temporary conservator, Montgomery recently said, quote, "We all need to focus on one thing and one thing only, the health, well-being, and best interests of Britney Spears," end quote. So that is that article, and this TMZ article just popped up, and I am curious to read this because we all know how TMZ and Jamie are in cahoots together. Allegedly, I guess we'll say that. But this one says, Jamie has agreed it is time to step down as conservator of Britney's estate. He just said so in legal docs, and he wants to work with the court on an orderly transition. We've learned Jamie's lawyer is filing legal documents in which he says, quote, "There are in fact no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as conservatorship of the estate, and it is highly debatable whether a change in conservator at this time would be in Britney's best interest." I already said that. This article from TMZ, it seems to be pretty much the same, but it does include a quote from the legal document today of him saying, regardless of his formal title, Mr. Spears will always be Britney's father. He will always love her unconditionally. I'm sorry. I'm trying to say that without laughing. He will always love her unconditionally, and he will always look out for her best interests. He goes on to attack Lynne Spears, saying she has had little, if any, involvement in the conservatorship, let alone Britney's life, for the past 13 years. He says her credibility is undetermined because Britney herself refuses to even see Lynne when she was at a mental facility in 2019. Hold on. Didn't Britney not want to see him either? And didn't Britney call him and was crying, and he said, well, if you're in there must be something wrong with you. And that is when she said that they were all at her condo in Destin just living it up while she was locked up in that facility. I remember that. Everybody remember that? I don't think she wanted to see him either, but okay. He does say he essentially saved Britney when she... damn it, I can't do it. Serious face. He does say he essentially saved Britney when she was in crisis, desperately in need of help 13 years ago, adding, quote, "Not only was she suffering mentally and emotionally, she was also being manipulated by predators and in financial distress. Mr. Spears came to his daughter's rescue to protect her," end quote. Hold on. Can somebody please tell me, while suffering mentally or emotionally and possibly, we don't even know, possibly being manipulated by predators and in financial distress, can somebody please tell me how that can force you into a conservatorship? A probate conservatorship? I mean, I don't know. It's a little ridiculous, and Britney's cousin even said that her parents lied about Sam Ingham and everything they said, or Sam Lutfi. Britney's cousin even said that her parents lied about everything they said about Sam Lutfi. So I think that he was their scapegoat all along. Whether he is a good guy or not, I think that they just used him to get Britney into this conservatorship. That's what I think. In the legal docs, Spears' lawyer says Jamie had been working on a plan to leave the conservatorship with her then attorney Samuel Ingham, which again, where was that? Samuel Ingham never said that. He actually filed back in November 2020 to get him out, and the judge, of course, denied it. And Mr. Spears never said once that he was going to work with Sam to remove himself. Never once. And I'm sure if he did say that and that was actually a thing, then people wouldn't be fighting as hard to get him out of there. I think it's bullshit. That's what I think. We contacted Britney's lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, and he was unmoved by Jamie's decision to step down, telling TMZ, quote, "We are pleased but not necessarily surprised that Mr. Spears and his lawyer finally recognize that he must be removed. We are disappointed, however, by their ongoing shameful and reprehensible attacks on Britney and others," which, yeah, true. So, good. He is unmoved. He's not fallen for Jamie's shit, which I'm sure he has probably seen enough. So, those articles, plus like 4 or 5 more, have came out today. Now, I want to show you guys this. Okay, you guys, this is Britney The Stan, one of my favorite accounts on Twitter, and they pinned the tweet. Okay, so it's their top tweet, and it says, "Breaking, contrary to false and misleading headlines, Britney Spears' father has refused to step aside and is asking the court to deny his immediate suspension and removal." Now, this second picture here, it says down here, James P. Spears, as conservator of the estate of Britney Jean Spears, presents his first response to Conservatives' petition for suspension and removal of James P. Spears as conservator of the estate, and alleges as follows. Now, the last picture that they posted, I can't think at all, it says here, "Orderly and include a resolution of matters pending before the court. In order to reach the result, the court should encourage all interested parties to meet and confer in order to resolve the pending matters in the best interests of Miss Spears. Wherefore, Mr. Spears requests an order of the courts as follows. Number 1, denying the Conservatives' petition for suspension and removal of James P. Spears as conservator of the estate, and number 2, for such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper." So he just says here that he is denying, or he wants the court to deny Britney's petition to suspend him. Now, he did want to deny. Now, the articles are saying that he is going to step down, but he wants to do it pretty much on his terms when he wraps up whatever the hell he is saying he has to do. So it did say in the article that that Jamie said that he has to ask the court to deny Britney's petition because there's no grounds for him to be suspended. So he's basically saying, yeah, I'll step aside, but I want the court to deny her petition just to make me look good. So he doesn't want anybody to think that there are grounds for him to get suspended, but in the same breath he's saying that he is going to step down soon. Whenever he feels like it, I think. But like I said earlier, I think that he is just wanting to say that he's going to step down because he knows that he's going to get completely annihilated in this September 29th hearing, and he doesn't want that. He doesn't want his name tarnished. So he's saying he's going to step aside, and then hopefully they won't expose him if he just steps aside. But that's crap. Like Matthew Rosengart has already said that he's going to investigate all the wrongdoing that he's done in the past 13 years. So I think it's inevitable, but I don't know. Maybe I feel like this is just some kind of tactic for him to try and buy time by saying he's gonna step aside, but he has to clear up a few things first before he hands over the reins. So I think it's all bullshit. I think it's just a tactic. He pretty much right here just said that he wants the court to deny her petition to suspend him. suspend him, but he's telling these news articles that he's going to be stepping aside soon. In a timely manner, whenever he feels like it. Whatever. So basically, he's not stepping aside anytime soon. And I hope that they still go on with this September 29th hearing and they freaking crush his ass. That's what I hope. I also wanted to talk about this post as well from Britney The Stan. It says, Britney Spears' cousin Allie Sims appears to confirm that Lynne Spears crushed up pills and spiked Britney's Red Bull before driving her to rehab. So let's take a look at this as well. Now this is a picture of Britney and her cousin Allie Sims. And Allie has also came out and said that everything that Britney's parents said about Sam was a lie. She also has came out and said that Jamie has threatened her life if she did not stop talking to Britney and did not ignore all of Britney's calls. Here is an email, and it says, yes, Lynne was at her son Brian's apartment in Marina Del Rey. I'm sorry, I don't know where that is. I'm not very cultured. I believe Betty Weinman, an interventionalist, was present, as well as Allie Sims, and there was another woman there at the time. According to Lynne, she sent the unnamed woman to the pharmacy at the Ralph's grocery store next door to pick up a prescription that she called in. When the woman brought the pills to the apartment, Lynne claims she took a pill, crushed it on the kitchen counter, and wiped the contents into Britney's Red Bull, in which Britney drank, passed out, and later was driven to Promises, a rehab center. Now, people are saying, asking her, like, Allie, oh my God, is this true? And can you handle mine? She also tagged Allie, and I know her. I've seen her on Instagram. She said Allie will say she saw nothing. Not trying to be rude, but it's time for some of these people to start telling the truth. And then down here, Allie said confirmed. So she is basically confirming that this is true, that Lynne crushed up these pills, put it in Britney's drink, and gave it to her, and Britney drank it and passed out, and then they took her to rehab. So Lynne, that doesn't look good. She's literally drugging Britney, but yet they're saying that she has to go be in this conservatorship and all this because of her drug addiction and drug use, which, by the way, every time she had gotten tested, she was clean. So what's up with that? Now that I read Can You Handle Mine comment, she'll say she saw nothing. And then Allie says confirmed. So is she saying confirmed to I saw nothing, or confirmed to that Lynne drugged Britney? I don't know. I'm thinking she's saying confirmed to Lynne drugging Britney, but maybe if she gets into a bind, she could say that she meant, that she saw nothing. I don't know. Maybe she just said it that way to save herself. I don't know. But that is extremely alarming and grotesque that they are literally drugging her and dragging her to rehab. It is disgusting. There's also another tweet that I saw. It said, this is in Vancouver, 2009. Brit was pissed and stopped performing because people were smoking weed at the audience, and if her drug test turned out positive, they would take her children away. Later, her so-called team dragged her to the stage against her will. So when I looked into this, it basically said that there was a lot of people smoking weed in the audience, and Britney was afraid she was going to get like a contact high, and then if she got a contact high or it got in her system, and she would get drug tested, if she failed that drug test, then her conservators would take her kids away. And then when she expressed that to them, they drug her out there by her arm anyway and forced her out on stage. Now, if you watch this, she does look really pissed. How mad she looks. She does not want to be there, you can tell. Yikes. That's sad. Like, what would you do in that situation? You have to perform or you can't see your kids, and you can't drop dirty or you can't see your kids. But if you go out there with all that weed smoke, it might get in your system and then you won't be able to see your kids. Like, what would you do in that situation? It's just enough. I don't know. Enough is enough, you guys. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to film that real quick and let you guys know what is really going on. Despite all of these articles doing these headlines and articles saying that he has stepped down, he has not stepped down. He just says that he will step down soon, which I don't believe it at all. But I did want to come on here and make that video and let you guys know it is not true. He is not stepping down. But the fact that Lynne was drugging her is disgusting, and then forcing her to perform when she didn't want to. I mean, you could clearly see how pissed she was and she didn't want to be there. But I just wanted to come on here and give you guys an update. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. And if you could leave a comment as well, it'll help push this video through the YouTube algorithm and get the word out there some more. I am currently working on some other projects as well for you guys, but I wanted to come on here and let you guys know that that's not really the case. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You know you want to. I would love to have you guys in the family. And until next time, you guys, in a world where you can be anything, please be kind to each other. Bye, guys. Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen my makeup? Like, I tried my best to do, like, some planet things today. I got this palette from my BoxyCharm box, and it was like the theme of like planets. So I was like, I want to take this palette and do like planets, but like it wasn't really as bright as I wanted it to be. And since I was using that palette, I wanted to use just that palette, so I couldn't really do what I wanted, but I tried my best. But yeah, that's why my makeup looks like that. But anyways, thank you guys. I love you guys so much. Bye, guys.